guys, welcome back. Today I am doing my book wrap-up for the month of July. This month was terrible. I only read a total of 3 books this entire month, and I didn't even finish the one that I pulled out of my TBR jar. I don't know what happened. I feel like I'm in kind of a slump right now, but I don't know what it is. Like, I just couldn't finish the book that I wanted to read this month, and then I don't know if I'm pressuring myself to finish it and I'm just disappointed. I don't feel pressured, I don't feel stressed out, but it just didn't happen. And but instead of dwelling on what I didn't do this month, let's talk about what I did. The first book I read this month was I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. I did a book talk on this book, which I will leave linked below. This book follows twins Jude and Noah and is told from both of their perspectives. Noah's chapters take place when the twins are 13, going on 14, and Jude's chapters take place when the twins are 16. And when they were 13, the twins used to be really close and get along really well, but then they started to drift apart, and then when they are 16, they kind of avoid each other, and there's almost like a feud going on between them because of some thing that occurred within those few years that are not really talked about in the book. This book didn't wow me, guys. I was really excited to pick this one up, and I was pretty disappointed, not gonna lie. It just wasn't my thing. It wasn't poorly written. There was like nothing really about it that I hated or I think that could have been too much better. I just didn't care for it. The next book I read this month, I read for the online class that I'm currently taking this summer, and we had to do a book report. The class is about inclusive classrooms in early childhood education, which means like dealing with children with disabilities. We had to read the book and write a book report. The book that I chose was A Loss for Words, The Story of Deafness in a Family by Luann Walker. This is a nonfiction book, and it is Luann Walker's memoir recount of growing up with deaf parents. The last book I read this month was my favorite book of the month. I absolutely loved it. I don't know, maybe I'm not in a book slump, maybe I'm having a book hangover, because this book, y'all, it is The Merciless by Danielle Vega. I did a book talk on this book too, and I just spit everywhere because I'm too darn excited. But I did a book talk on this book, and I'll leave that linked in the description below. I loved this book. 100% do recommend. It's a young adult horror book, and it does have some very, very graphic torture scenes in it. So if you are squeamish or anything, keep that in mind before picking this one up. This centers around a girl named Sophia, and she's the new girl at school and quickly becomes friends with the mean girls clique of the school, the most popular girls in the school. And when she's friends with them, she discovers that they don't like this other girl named Brooklyn, but taking it one step further, they think that she's possessed by a demon, and they want to take it upon themselves to save her and perform an exorcism. But the exorcism turns into torture. This book is so good. It's a commentary on the movie Mean Girls, and I just loved the aspects of the movie that were in this book. Pick it up if you haven't. It's creepy, it's scary, it had me on the edge of my seat, and I think that it's going to be a series, and I'm just dying for the next book. That's all the books that I finished this month, but I still did want to talk about the book that I pulled out of my TBR jar. If you don't know, the book that I pulled out was The Child Thief by Bram, and this is a retelling of Peter Pan. It's very, very high fantasy, which I am not used to. I'm just sort of getting into fantasy. It's a great story. It has some pictures in it. Ooh, character. Oh, that's a little racy. It's an adult book, and so it has some kind of graphic language in it, but it's still really good so far, and I'm planning on finishing it. I'm not just going to not finish it. I'm working on it. I'm reading this. I'm double teaming with the audiobook that I got for free from Audible. This video isn't sponsored, but that would be nice. Last month I talked about my brand new TBR jar, and I pulled The Child Thief from it. Didn't finish it, so that was a fail. But this month, instead of pulling a book or challenge from my TBR jar, I am taking part in the book-tubeathon. I'm super excited, so I don't want to pull anything from my jar. I'm going camping for 2 whole weeks, and then school is starting at the end of the month in August. Yay. I know this is a longer video, but I just really wanted to talk about this for a little bit because this month was such a slow month, and I am fearing that as classes start picking up, it's going to slow down a little bit again, but I'm not going to stop reading. I'm not going to stop posting videos. I'm not going to stop, but I'm not picking a challenge from the jar this month because I'm doing the booktubeathon. I'm going camping for 2 weeks, so I don't want to limit myself to one book or challenge because I have challenges in my jar that are like, only read red books, only read yellow books, and I don't really want to limit myself at this month because of everything that's going to be going on. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know what books you read this month, and also let me know if you have read any of the books that I read this month and if you enjoyed them as much or as little as I did. If you're doing the booktubeathon, let me know too, because it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a fun-filled week of reading a shit ton. Oops. That's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!